So the other thing that's changed, actually, because I'm on the item screen here, is you've got a bag system now as opposed to the box system, I guess you could describe with DDE. And I noticed that there's actually quite a bit of subtleties to it because you have a temporary bag as well, don't you, for other levels if you've filled up your bags and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we do actually. I'm actually at the forge right now selling stuff. One thing you'll notice a bug is that there's supposed to be another character blocking volume when you're using the forge, so you can only see yourself. But that appears to not be the case, so I can see all of your guys' backs.
Oh, okay.
but but yeah, so there's a lot of places we want to take the bag system to. The kind of idea is that first of all, we wanted a system that would let you have an infinite amount of items, because the first game, you know, there's a lot of inventory problems. But at the same time, we wanted a system that allowed you to kind of organize your stuff and limit your permanent space, because you know, it will be a free-to-play game. So
yeah, you'll be able to.
And so the idea,
some stuff to that, yeah, through microtransactions.
Yep, and you can kind of see if you click on a locked bag now, we have them for gold currency in the game where you can buy new bags, and if you buy the premium bag, you can name it, and there's sorting options, and you can pick icons and those kind of things. So, but the idea is really that we needed to make sure if we're gonna do a system like that, that you could still play the game and never feel like you're being held back, you know, through the system. So that's why the temporary item box is there. Basically, if your inventory is full, all items you find will always go to your temporary item box, and you basically just have 24 hours to do management of those items. So you're never gonna like kind of run and see, oh man, I really want this item, but then be like, crap, I can't pick it up unless I pay money. That will never happen. It'll
Oh, okay. Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
24 hours and figure out what I want to do with it. So
yeah, let you definitely keep loot you really want. Yeah,
so there's
really
yep, and one of I was gonna say one added bonus for DDE and DD1 players is that any loot that is that falls off the map or gets set in a unreachable place will actually automatically be added to your temporary item box. So you'll never see that awesome piece of gear and watch it just drop and be like, God damn it! So
there's a couple of things that I noticed as we were playing. Just is that the first time you come across any stats to try and equip, you only ever see them as icons. So like a new player, their first interaction with the stats is only icons, and it's only when you come to replace an item that you actually see what those icons mean. So it seems like it's the wrong way around.
yeah, I would love if once again that you guys could go to the Defense Council forums and write up a post about that. There's definitely a lot of work that I think we need to do in general. Like we kind of said when we launched this pre-alpha, the systems that need the most work right now are the loot and the of the game. We kind of spent most of the last. I think we only got loot in a couple months ago, and we spent most of the last year really just working on the core gameplay loops of the game, just making sure that like the world is beautiful, and within a certain match, like you have actions you can do that are fun, and placing towers is really easy and intuitive, and towers have combos, and we really focus on all that stuff. And then we switch to the loot. So loot is still in kind of its infancy, and there's a lot of issues with the current system that we were really looking towards player feedback to figure out how to address, and that's certainly one of them. Item comparison is a chore right now.
Yeah.
The way it's set up doesn't work for a multitude of reasons.
Cool. Should we?
A place that we're actively kind of thinking a lot about.
Are we able to look at the second level? I'm not sure if we have to rejoin a group or not.
Yeah.
Because maybe I was doing it wrong.
So
when I went to the war table, you
no, I think
jumped to next level. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll see if you guys can stay with me when I leave or not. I don't know how this works.
Okay,
yeah, this
fingers crossed.
If not, I'll re-invite you. So yeah, so that's this is one of the biggest kind of user that we have kind of some fixes in for, and are figuring out is there's actually a tech limitation initially that we had to solve for this feature. But basically the way Dungeon Defenders 2 works is that there's a variety of playlist ranges, and the game's non-linear. So instead of going through you know, map after map after map after map, you go through sets of maps that all kind of have the same loot drops and those kind of things. And the reason we did this is because we noticed a lot in the first game, you know, people are like, man, we only ever want to play this one map because it's the best map or whatever. So this kind of lets you have options within any level range. The problem is it's really unintuitive right now, because when you're in a playlist, it doesn't automatically promote you to the next playlist. So if you were to go up to the table now, we have Dragonfall Bazaar, and I'll load that up now as a second map, and that's unlocked, and that's the only one through this. So kind of when we get the opportunity to really dive into the new user flow, that will be something that gets fixed up significantly.
Okay. Oh, we've only got 2 players. Who didn't get in?
Yeah. Unfortunately, my hero level wasn't high enough or something.
It says you're in the map.
Ah.
Do you?
It says the heroes in your hero deck do not all meet level requirement for this session.
Ah. Okay, so if you are you in the entry tavern?
No, it's going searching for session still.
I would suggest if you go to the main menu, or you're in the entry tavern, you probably have a hero in your deck that's below level 3.
Oh yeah. Right,
You
I
just
do.
pull them
Yeah.
out of your deck. Then we can
Oh,
invite you.
okay. So I've got a black screen at the moment. I might need to.
That's it.
Oh no, return to entry 7. Excellent. Sorry about this. I've never played this before, so
Okay.
I'm getting used
Me
to it
and
a little
Malinka
bit.
discovered.
Oh no, it's fine. This
that
is
one too when we were playing. It was just like, what? Oh, I get it. I understand why. Although it's not intuitive, but I understand why.
needs to be way better.
Yeah.
But
I'm not the
it's one of-
fastest person.
This is one of the fun things about development and kind of watching the development process is like you see an idea in its first implementation where it's like, okay, well, what do we want to do? Well, we only want heroes of a specific level range to be able to play in a level range, so that way, you know, you can't power level, you can't kind of leech off of people, those sorts of things. It's a fun to play in group settings. And then here's all the problems that happen when you implement something like that, and then you have to start to find solutions for those problems.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I never spent several hours in ramparts power leveling. I never did it.
Exactly, and that was one of the things that we've gotten a surprising amount of good feedback here, where people are like, I like that myself and other players have to earn and play through the jumping in and getting to level 70 immediately.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's too easy that
although
way,
I
isn't
admit
it?
to-
Could I get an
Yeah, no,
invite again,
although I
please?
admit to abusing it myself occasionally when we're trying to catch someone up to levels that they can record with us. But yeah, I totally understand why you wouldn't want it in your game.
Yeah, and I think it really depends on the type of game that you have. You know, some games like a Diablo, and in those games, it's so much of the gameplay is at the end game that it's almost okay. But we definitely thought for us that we wanted people to go the game itself. So
I'm a bit late to the party, guys, so I don't have any keys this
Oh, that's
round.
okay. We got extra keys.
So I think we're going to need to be
we got
extra
keys
vigilant.
to compensate for you missing.
I'll drop some mana here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so kind. Thank you.
So
Alright,
I
do you
think we
want a
should
wall or a
defend
cannon?
this area. I put if you can put a wall right here. And then what I
yeah,
really
I
like
see
to do
where
is
it
if
turns
we
up.
Yeah, because you.
put like fireball and cannon towers up here.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, it's just differently to the way I was
yeah.
building it. But yeah, nice. We did spot that this was a
And if we get everything just
point here
right,
that there was a choke point there for 2 lanes.
if you want, you can actually move this
Okay.
flame burst tower just up a little bit, so it's inside the boost aura. It should get it there. Let's see.
Is that in it? Kind of looks like it.
And if you guys have noticed, you can press E on defenses to see like their detailed
Yeah.
stats. If we
I'm
can
looking
actually
at the
move
boost
blockade,
tower right now, yeah.
Blockade just over to the maybe left a little bit. It's not boosted by it. You can actually I'll
Okay,
respec
yep.
right now a little bit. The monk has a spec node which gives his boost aura boost blockade health. So I'll max that out right now.
Alright. Seems like a
You
good
can see
idea.
the health is boosted up by my boost aura, and I think if we can just move this cannonball turret a little up here too, so it gets boosted. It looks like it should be in
Okay.
it, but I think it's like just barely.
So this is what happens when you play with someone who actually knows what they're doing. We just chuck things down and be like, yeah, we're good.
I don't think it's really necessary to kind of do this particularly. Yeah, any of those places are good here, but I think
I
it's
agree
fine.
with you.
There's way more optimal strategies.
Especially when you're ramping up the
But-
difficulties. So over here there's something a little different to talk about. So we've got this great control that is here, like a separate defense point.
Yep. And if this defense point actually falls, you don't lose the level, but what happens is it opens up this lane right here.
And causes you a world of hurt if you're not prepared.
Oh, that's not good.
So that forces,
Right, okay.
forces you
Yep.
to put your defences like a little closer up here, you know, before the gate.
Yeah, and the
Now, did we
idea
blow
was
all
kind
our
of-
mana on the other place?
Oh, I've got mana,
Sorry.
I think.
That's fine. This has. This thing only has 12 goblins and 12 range goblins. If you guys press shift, you can see what Sewer's path has and stuff. So, it's pretty light on enemies. We could just have one person stand here and probably
Okay.
take it out.
I've just dropped him some mana anyway, so if you want to put some towers down.
Okay, I'll stick a spiky
Yeah, it
turret
has to be
down
in
then.
front of the great tower over here.
One of the actual fun things. One of the little fun tidbit that you can actually do is instead of placing a spike blockade, you can place your defenses behind the subcore, and the subcore kind of will act like a barricade
Oh, okay.
in the easier difficulties because its health regens every wave. So until we get to like for wave 1 and 2, we don't really need a blockade because it'll stay up, and then when we get to like waves 3, 4, and 5, it's like okay, well now.
Oh, okay. That's yeah, it's a nice little trick.
You're gonna watch this; it'll be fun to see.
Okay, yeah. Let's have a look.
I actually think we might have set up so everything can just take care of itself. You're gonna. We don't
So
have
we're gonna
our
brave
feast
it
in-
and
Yeah, I'm gonna see what happens. I think that this is pretty self-sufficient right here. They're just getting like taken out. That's good.
That's awesome.
And as you said, the cannon behind there is doing pretty good.
Yep.
So this introduces a lot more different variations of creature types than the original Dungeon Defenders. I think is this the first level that you get spear throwers in, if I'm correct?
Yeah, you get 2 new enemies here. You get spear throwers and Draken.
So if I remember,
I don't know if you guys have seen the Draken yet, but the Draken is awesome. He's one of my favorite
so if I'm
enemies.
correct, the Draken is immune to some types of elemental damage. I think that's one of the first things it introduces to you.
Yeah, so if you notice, if you look at each path on the billboards, you can see either a blue sword or a magic shield. And let me equip this. And that indicates what kind of lane is going to be there. So it's either going to be a magical resist lane or a physical resist lane. And the idea is that in magic resist lanes you build physical towers, and in physical,
Oh wow.
and that's kind of like the basic resist system of the game. And you can kind of see when you open up the billboards with shift, you can see which enemies in that particular lane are going to be resistant of which types of damage. So it kind of helps guide your builds. Dungeon Defenders 2 has a randomized spawner system as opposed to a static one. Not randomized within a rule set, obviously. And kind of the whole game structured for a game mode that's not out yet called Wave Director, which is kind of like Left 4 Dead, where it reads the map and sees what you've placed and then puts you in very fun situations as a result of that.
Right. Wow.
But right now this system right now this system just kind of runs all the spawn points that they're not responsive to what you build, but they're based on these lane types. So you can see we might get like a physical resist lane, so you know to place physical towers, so it will never swap to magic resistant lane, so you're just screwed. But it will vary a lot within that archetype of physical resist versus magical
Okay.
resist.
Well, I think we're very good to manually defend some of this as well. So also it helps you to decide
Yeah, I've
if you want,
upgraded
I
the
want.
cannon,
which hero
so
you put in, I guess. I assume that the apprentice does magical damage with its staff as opposed to physical, and so you could choose to put him against
Yep.
the physical resist guys.
Exactly, and that kind of influences which lane you'll ask for certain characters to watch as well. Definitely watch the boost and the lightning aura's health on both lanes with shift, because we're gonna want to try to save our mana up and upgrade them, as opposed to waste them on repairs.
okay.
So yeah, one thing that started throwing a spanner in the works to having all defences doing all the work is these spear throwing guys that are introduced on this level, is that they outrange the turrets, which force you to take notice.
So yeah, and what I think is really fun about that is obviously you have the option of taking them out if you want, but at the same time you can actually build towers that will outrange them either through finding gear or actually upgrading the towers as opposed to building multiple towers. And that's kind of one of the options in this game that not really in the first game. There's basically one optimum path, which is you fill up your DU cap, and then after you fill up your DU cap you basically upgrade stuff, right? And in this game it's not quite as clear cut, because upgrading actually increases the range of towers significantly. So there's a lot of good reasons where maybe you'll want to have a batch of defenses in which one defense is upgraded once or twice so it can take out javelin throwers, and then you start to cap out the limit, or maybe you want a few that are maxed out. So there's a lot of thinking and ways that you can do to kind of figure out what strategy you want to play with. Oh man, here we go. Javelin throwers.
Well, I guess the other option would be to use like monk traps and stuff, who are obviously not affected by the range elements so much.
Exactly. And that's why the tooltip says outranges towers, which is not which I'm like taking notes whenever I play. So yeah, so one of the things that I really love to do when we were kind of playing this in development and testing it is watch where the javelin throwers stand, because they're going to stand in a different place based off of kind of your defense setup. And then based off of that, basically build auras and traps right where they'll stand. So you're kind of like, oh, javelin throwers like to stand here. Okay, I'll put a prox mine down right there. It'd be awesome to get some more of the, or yeah, or down there's good too. I'd put it back more if you're gonna put it down there, like put it over here.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
That way it won't get dealt splash damage. And that's another strategy too with the javelin throwers, is they throw let's see, are there any javelin throwers in this lane? Yeah, there's 4. So they throw their javelins in a straight line, right? So if you what you want to do is you want to try to put around the barricade your defenses to the sides of it, so that when they like stand and pierce through the blockade, they don't also hit your defenses.
See.
Okay. Let's have a look at these javelin fellas and see what they do.
I assume part of you know, the long-term plan for DLC is to, you know, bring back some of the old favourite characters as well that were introduced later on in the. Sorry, that's my fault for reintroduce some of those characters like Series EV and Summoner and all of that. I assume that's like maybe a long-term plan to add those back in.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of you guys know that originally Dungeon Defenders 2 started, before we rebooted development, it was going to be a MOBA of sorts, and then we kind of threw all of that away. And one of the big kind of learnings we had from working on that was that we wanted to focus on making a few heroes really high quality, as opposed to a lot of heroes really low quality. So right now we're really just focused on the first heroes, and before we even start investigating adding new heroes in, we want to revisit the monk, the squire, and the apprentice's kits and make them better. But yeah, after that we will definitely be adding new hero types into the game, and
yeah, my personal favourite is the series,
and
so I'm looking forward to seeing him again.
Yeah, and I think the nice thing about that, and the reason why that's your favorite, is the only one that really, people like the Summoner too because it's a different gameplay style, but the Series EV is the only one that really adds a completely new set of towers to the game. So.
And I especially like the fact that.
So we want to do that with all of our
Series
heroes.
EV is the defenses you can walk through, so that sometimes when you're trying to get into combat situations, the defenses, if placed all scattered around, you have to jump over them, and sometimes you try and jump over defences you've placed down and accidentally fall into a hole and die or something like that. And with Series EV, he eliminates a lot of those problems. That's the way I like him.
Yeah, I love Series EV. She's my personal favorite out of all the characters that we added when we were working on the first game. All these orcs are nasty.
Yeah, they take a bit of a pounding, these guys,
I've got
don't
some kind of range on this
Yeah.
staff, though. I hit him all the way from the other side of the level.
Oh, good work.
Oh, I got
nice.
my
Right.
next ability, and I've actually tried this one on a test character, so I'm looking forward to showing this active ability off in a moment. It's a really fun one.
Just unlocked
Yeah.
Tornado.
So much fun.
It deals lightning damage too, so we don't have a Huntress, but if you set up some geyser traps, it becomes fantastic.
Oh, okay. How can you see on those abilities, like what kind of elemental damage it does? Did I miss a piece of information somewhere?
So if you go to the forge, you can click on character, and then you can click on each of your abilities, and it tells you a little bit about them. I don't know how there's a nice little disclaimer there that detailed descriptions are on their way. So I don't know how accurate or how deep the descriptions go, but
Oh, it does.
that
Yeah,
is where they
dealing
will
magical
be.
storm damage. There we go. Is that healing one in the middle there? Oh yeah, that is. Okay, cool. The tree. Just I've not played with a monk on a level yet, so recognising the trap icons at the moment.
Yeah, the tree is it slows enemy or it debuffs enemies and also buffs the heroes in it, so and heals you. So it's really nice. Also, it's a tree, which is fantastic.
I played the monk was the first character I played. I think it was quite insane what you could do, especially with the size of the heal bubbles sometimes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Monk's my favorite class, personally. I know we have a decent amount of work to do. I just love support. He's like an active support character. He's like I don't know if you guys saw our defense council posters, but he's like our badass support character. He supports people by being awesome.
I'm rubbish at remembering to do stuff, but yeah, here's a tornado. So much fun. Sends them all flying up into the air. Does a ridiculous
wow.
damage. It's great.
Well, I got some kind of taunt, is it, or
you get a
something
taunt
like that?
that also increases your attack speed and things like that as well, I think, and damage. Or movement speed.
Yeah, I'll tell you a minute. I'll have a look at the stats in a sec.
One thing that we were saying, although because I've played this before, I'm not seeing a lot of the enemy intros as it introduces a new enemy. But what happens if anyone's watching who's not seen it before is every time that you encounter a new enemy before a wave or a level, it gives you a little movie and introducing him to you and explain what he does. Are you going to, because I've got a horrible memory sometimes, you're going to distill that information down into a bestiary at some point so you can review that information?
Yeah, I definitely think in the long term we're gonna put that information in a more permanent place. In addition to that, we will be we're gonna revisit we like the videos, but we also want to find ways to kind of make it even more apparent what enemies do and what kind of resist they have and stuff. So we're kind of thinking these there as well.
Okay,
Oh,
I've got another one of these incomings.
The dragon.
Oh my god.
Oh, this guy.
Alright, defeat with physical damage, okay. I'll smack him in the face a bit then.
Yeah, when he...
Where's he coming from? Does it tell you? Okay.
Yep, it's a nice, as Josh was saying, it's the throbbing exclamation mark.
Yeah. I'll get repairing and ready for this. I think everything up here is upgraded. I got some honor if you need something down there
you know what?
upgraded.
I'm an idiot. Let me fix something.
What have you done?
No wonder like it's not as good as it
Line
should
in
be.
this lane
I
now.
forgot to update the stream of what game we were playing. I can't believe that. Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Oops.
I will say in my defence that I started 13 hours ago streaming, and we're still going strong. Yeah, we're about halfway through actually for my stream. Wow.
Yep.
So remember, this stream is doing it for extra life. Don't forget that you can donate money to the great cause that is the Children's Miracle Network that raises money for sick children. And yeah, even if it's a small amount, then we would most welcome any donations that come through. It's a great cause, and loads of gamers are getting behind it. And yeah, we welcome you all to join in and donate on our page. Okay. Is there any thing that you want me to... Oh, I could upgrade this, I guess. Oh, so cool when you upgrade them and they change icons. Still love it. Oh, I see. It's like that. This guy's not going anywhere, is he? All these traps set all along the road. That's funny.
Okay, I've thrown down an extra cannon.
Yeah, tons more. I can't believe I forgot that. That's really annoying. Oh well. Can't change it now. It's updated now on the Twitch stream anyway.
Whee!
Did we lose Phil?
No,
Okay.
I'm still here, guys. Yep.
That's
Just
right.
sorry, didn't press G.
That's right.
Don't worry, I've forgotten.
Oh, the amount of times I've forgotten to do that. I see with the theme music you changed a bit, but you kept the essence of the kind of the beat. Because I really loved the original, and the new title screen music's excellent as well, but different and sort of the same. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole game. Was what we're really trying to do with it. Different but the same. I think that's a good way of saying it. We try to make the main theme of Dungeon Defenders 2 kind of more epic, but at the same time still have the beats and key parts that you recognize from the first games.
What's actually interesting is that we took a long break from Dungeon Defenders originally. We played it massively when it first came out, did loads of videos on it, and yeah, just totally fell in love with the game. But you know, you don't play the same game forever. We move on a little bit and switch games, and then Eternity came out, and we're like, I want back in. It's been ages since we played, and that music, as soon as you came in, just brought up all of those kind of memories and emotion of playing the game, and and it was great to see that when I think it was the first tweet I sent out to after I loaded this game out, was like loving the fact that the music is you know, like Dungeon Defenders 1, it brings all that emotion back. It's so good.
Yeah, we still have the same composer. He's working with us on everything. He's done every piece of music that's in any of our products we've released. So.
No, you started off developing this as a mobile game, didn't you? As, for I think the original release of Dungeon Defenders was for mobile.
So actually, this is a fantastic story. It can go with your per wave story that you like to do. Originally, the game was supposed to be on Xbox and PlayStation 3 and PC, but our Xbox publisher, back in the dark days of XBLA, when you needed a publisher to be on XBLA, they actually went bankrupt, and we had to fight to get the license for the game back to release it at all from them. But the platforms that they didn't have the rights to release it on were mobile. So at the time, there were no Unreal games on mobile, and certainly no Unreal games on Android. Infinity Blade I think came out like a week before Dungeon Defenders did on I. And we were like, well, what do we have to do to survive? And the answer was make the game on mobile. So we got it there, took people's feedback, improved it, and then when all the rights issues were solved for that PC release, we were finally able to come out with it.
So with that, are you now considering whether or not you're going to make a mobile release for the sequel?
Yeah, we definitely are going to want to do a mobile release for this. We haven't announced anything yet, but it's something that we're thinking about. There's a lot of we kind of the first game was most popular by far on PC and Steam. So
Yeah, obviously you'd put the game out there first, which is a shame because this game would be so well. It was so great on consoles as well, and even this game is going to be immense on consoles. And it's just a shame it never really took quite I don't know as much notice out on the consoles as it did on the PC. It's a hidden gem for console worlds.